to Kenny's Nature Hunt. I'm your host, Kenny Sherman. Today we are searching for some of the most fierce animals that live in McKinney. I got a feeling that we'll find our share of some dangerous animals on our journey. And when we do, we have to be very, very careful because these beautiful, beautiful animals are very protective of their territory. So stay close and follow me. Shh! You hear that? That is the sound of the red-winged monster falcon. It's a huge bird species with a wingspan of 15 feet, and it can pick up a group of 10 people with its bare claws. And believe me, you don't want that to happen. We'll have to keep an eye out for it. By the sounds of it, the monster falcon is really, really grumpy. The monster falcon's habitat is in the forest and can only be found in your imagination. Whoa! Look at that! That's the fierce animal we've been looking for. And with our luck, he's sleeping. Isn't he a beauty? As you can see, it looks like his eyes are open, and they are. But he's still asleep. That is how they protect themselves from enemies. They sleep with their eyes open and make predators think they're awake. Look at those claws! Look at that fierce look on his face! Don't worry, big fella. We won't wake you.
Hey, Kenny.
Shh!
What you doing?
I'm observing the monster cat cougar. And believe me, you don't want to wake it. Has the ability to pounce on its prey in 1.3 seconds. And then it's over, mate.
Oh, I'll be quiet then. I think we lost it.
Good, that was close.
How'd you get out here, Kenny?
Well, the trail I was on was part of the Herd Natural Science Museum.
Oh, what's that?
It's a wildlife and nature museum right here in McKinney.
Really? Well, that's exciting because I love museums. I love nature. Do you suppose we could go inside and find out more about it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure somebody could tell us all about it.
Great. Let's go. Wow, this is fabulous. Oh, hi.
Hi.
Lisa, I'm Mac.
Hi,
Yeah,
I'm one of the naturalists here at the
I'm Kenny.
museum. Hello.
Oh,
nice to meet you.
We're just delighted. We just want to see everything here. What?
Well, you're standing in our new living lab exhibit. This has been in place since about February, and what we've got it here for is a chance for people to kind of take on the role of a scientist. You can try on a lab coat, and you can come in here. There's all kinds of things to look at and do. The idea is you're going to put your hands on different kinds of specimens. If you look over here, there are questions here. You can start, if you're feeling, a little nervous, you can start with the beginning level, but there's an advanced level and a pro level. And it gives you a question. Find one amphibian, one reptile, one bird, and one mammal. What makes each animal fit into its group? It tells you what you need to find. Everything is in the room, and you can answer these questions. This is a museum, right?
Yeah.
Museums have got collections of things, and those collections are used to answer scientific questions. So we want kids to come in here and be the scientists.
Well, this is just amazing. How did all this begin?
Well, we got the idea for this probably 2 years ago and had worked on fundraising and finally got it built. It took us about 6 months to finish it. We finished it in February, and it's still not completely done. There's some things that we will add to it. We're missing our x-ray table over here. We will add that. We've talked about a beehive over here. We're supposed to be doing that fairly soon. So it'll change a little bit.
So Herd is Mr. Herd?
No, the herd was started by Miss Bessie Herd in 1967. Bess Hurd, her family was one of the founding families in McKinney. They were always philanthropists. You know, they gave lots of money to the arts and charities. And when Bess got old, into her 80s, she'd always been interested in nature. She had shell collections and stuff like that. And she wanted someplace to put all of her things so that people could enjoy them. So she started the Hurd.
Nice. And so she donated this home.
She started this place. She started with, I believe, 100 acres, but we're up to 280 acres now. We've grown over the last 36 years or so.
Wow, that is so
In
cool.
fact, we're working on adding more property. We have 289 acres back here, but the McKinney Country Club next door, the golf course, is up for sale with another 65 acres. If we can't buy it, it'll probably go to developers. It'll turn to houses, and we would like to take that land and restore it to prairie. Put prairie grass and forest over there.
Perfect.
So,
What's back in there?
well, come check it out.
Yeah,
There's all kinds of, we've got to open the drawers and look at all the stuff in here. There's a fossil dig here in the corner. Here in the big windows, it shows the different habitats on the wildlife sanctuary. There's a wetland area here. There's an upland prairie there. And then the forest is back here behind me. So you can see the different habitats. And then when you go out on the nature hikes out on the trails here, you can observe those habitats in person and know a little bit about them.
Wow, that looks like that. We saw that huge 200-year-old tree.
Yes,
What
the big
kind of tree?
bur oak.
A bur oak, yeah.
Bur oak. Yeah, it's 260 years old, I think. He's astonishing.
Is that it? Looks like
That is a big red oak, actually. Yeah. A very well-known diorama painter named Jerome Connolly painted these two. They're very old, these two dioramas. That one's brand new and was done by Epicenter, which is an exhibit company here in town, a design company. But that spot, I can take you to that exact spot on the wildlife sanctuary. Jerome painted it from a particular place. This is a skull from a mosasaur, of the particular species of mosasaurus is tylosaur. That's a big swimming reptile. It had flippers instead of feet and swam in the oceans at the time of the dinosaurs. They find teeth and bits of bone from mosasaurs all over the place around here. And we would like to work him into our fossil dig eventually. Epicenter's made us this nice dig, but in phase 2 of our new exhibits, we're really going to expand this. We're going to take that mosasaur skull and put it up high on the wall and bring the rest of the skeleton down into the dig and have it down in there where kids can dig it out.
Look, Kenny, you can dig your own.
You can excavate your own bones.
Your own dinosaur. Yeah.
And there's all kinds of other fossils thrown in there too, so small things like clamshells and stuff. If you find one, you can keep it. We let kids each take one home with them.
Terrific.
So what's in this room?
This is the shell room. Bess Hurd had a huge collection of shells, and just a few of them are on exhibit here for people to look at. It tells about how mollusks live and why people collected shells and some other unusual ocean creatures over there, so you can check all that out. Yeah, we would like to expand this too. It's probably phase 3, but we'll eventually do that too.
This is amazing.
Now it leads into our art exhibit over here. Bess Hurd, being a collector, she was sort of a pack rat. She had a little bit of everything. She was very interested in nature art. We have a very big collection of John James Audubons and John Goulds and Edward Lears and other nature artists. And we've got this exhibit here. Some of these we've never exhibited before. Some of them have been out before. And it gives people a chance to compare those 3 artists.
So how many pictures are all in here?
I think we've got somewhere around 40 paintings hanging in here. And if you get into it and really look, there's information about the different artists. Over here there are biographies of the 3 artists. Edward Lear in particular was a character. If you've ever read the limerick, the Owl and the Pussycat, do you know that?
Yeah.
Edward Lear wrote that. He's most famous as a children's rhyme writer, essentially. He wrote limericks and such. But he was an incredible bird artist. That one is a Lear of a regent parrot. And he painted that somewhere around the age of 16. He was very young when he got serious about painting. This is an Audubon with a Gould next door. That period of time was very interesting. art-wise, if you're into nature art. There's
Snakes.
biographies over
I
there we
see
can check
snakes.
out. Yeah, a lot of people honestly race right through the art exhibit straight into the
Into the
snakes.
snake.
Yeah. This room's a chance for you to see some of the venomous snake species that live in our state and get some facts about them. A lot of people believe a lot of things about them. They're simply not true.
This one showed the skin.
Yeah. We've got several species of rattlesnake over here. There's a cottonmouth here right next door to a water snake who is non-venomous so that people can
see
compare
the
them and
difference.
see the difference.
Yeah.
A lot of times harmless water snakes are mistaken for water moccasins. We've got the copperheads here. That's our most common species of venomous snake in the area.
Oh, yeah.
They're relatively harmless as far as venomous snakes go. They'll send you to the hospital certainly, but there's never been a death from a copperhead bite in Texas.
Oh, that's interesting.
You might wish you were dead. It's very painful, but it's not going to
bet.
kill you.
I'll bet.
There's a coral snake here with a milk snake next door who's not venomous, so you can compare those two. And then a very large rattlesnake vivarium over here. The museum's got a very extensive rock and mineral collection too, a lot of beautiful things to look at from all over the world. We would like to, in a future phase of the exhibits, do a walk-through cave where the ceiling and the floors and the walls and everything appear to be cave formations, and our exhibit cases are set into that. We've got fluorescent rock specimens and lots of interesting fossils, and we can do stuff. We want to tie it to the Texas school system. There's certain things children are supposed to learn in science at every grade level, and the rock and mineral collection we would particularly like to tie close to that. I think it's 5th grade where they hit geology pretty hard. It's 4th or 5th grade, and we can put our exhibits right in line with what the teachers need the kids to pick up.
And it's hands-on.
Yes, it is. Yeah, Epicenter, the same design company, did this. They did this as their first effort, just to see if they could make stalactites and such. They went and visited some caves down in South Texas and Central Texas. And we'd like to, they photographed some of the very famous formations and would even like to copy some of those formations and have information about them in there. So I think it's good. It looks wet.
It
even.
does.
Yeah.
It looks like
I have no doubt they can do even better their second effort. So.
Now, we're looking at, I see a tarantula. I see a, is that what that is? Okay.
It's a Texas tarantula.
What's that one?
There's a prairie king snake and a Great Plains rat snake. Speckled king snake up there and a skink and a couple of box turtles. And we just try to keep a few small things on exhibit. It's a wildlife sanctuary. There's 240 species of birds that have been documented here, and bobcats and coyotes and foxes and snakes, but so much of it stays out of people's way.
Yeah.
People don't get to see the wildlife, so we try to keep a few things in here for people to check out. I can't put a coyote on exhibit. They're kind of nervous, but the small things.
240 species.
Of birds, yeah.
Birds?
Now, those are not all here all the time.
Right.
A lot of them are
Some are
migratory and some of them are rare, but yeah, we've documented 240 species. And it's growing. We have new nesting species every season because, the sanctuary is always getting better.
So it's a safe haven.
Yes, and the habitat's always being improved. Our biologists work very hard to make the prairies better, the woodlands better. It's getting closer and closer to what was here historically.
So what's in the next room that?
There's a little theater there where we can do programs for groups. We have lots of school groups come and visit us for talks and such. The Coreys, Brian and Shelley Corey, who are local artists, are working on a mural back there that shows the different habitats on the sanctuary.
Say if I want to come back and see everything again or stuff that I missed, like what time could I come back?
I hope you do come back. It's different all the time, different seasons. We're open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5. Sundays, 1 to 5. Now, if you come on a Saturday or a Sunday in the afternoon, there are volunteer trail guides who can take you out on a guided trail, and you can get more information that way about what's going on out there. We've got summer camp classes, we've got scout programs, schools come and visit us, we do all kinds of stuff to give people opportunity to come out here.
Okay.
Yeah,
That is
absolutely.
so great. This is just wonderful.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
We think it
thank you
is.
so much.
Sure.
You know everything, don't you?
Well, I'm trying to. You know, I learn more every year. I'm only 35, so I'm working
You
on
got
it.
it.
Yeah. I'm glad y'all came today.
Well,
Thanks for coming.
We'll be back.
Thank you.
All right,
All
bye.
right, bye.
Have a good day. Take care.
Wow, what a great place. And with all the changes the herd is making, I'm definitely going back there a lot.
Yeah, me too.
And now that we have a place to go for our nature adventure, I think the McKinney Library should have some books about the kinds of things that we'll find on our expeditions.
Yes, searching for books is kind of like exploring.
Yeah, well, I guess we better take a journey through the library and see what we can discover.
Sometimes when you go exploring, it's good to have a guide.
Absolutely. So I guess we need a guide for our library expedition.
And I think we know who that needs to be.
So, fellas,
Hey.
what book did you all find?
I found a great book. Look at this. How do frogs swallow with their eyes? Can you believe that? I couldn't believe it either. But what happens is that the frog gets the food, puts it in its mouth, and then it closes its eyes and it big old eyeballs. And so the big old eyeballs go down and push the food down into their stomachs.
Wow.
I'm serious. I
told
couldn't
you,
believe
see,
it.
Libraries are so fantastic. You can learn something new every time you come here. How about you, Kitty?
Well, I found box turtle at Long Pond.
Oh.
This is just all about a turtle that just one autumn day just wakes up, you know, just tries to go out, find some food, and when he finally does, a raccoon steals it from him. But finally, he finds some food, then goes back to sleep.
Sounds like me. Okay, and I found Look to the North, a Wolf Pup Diary by Gene Craighead George. So this follows from these 3 wolf cubs from their birth to 10 months old. And it's, you know, how they develop, how their teeth develop, you know, how they learn how to eat food, how they learn from their mama and everything. It's a great book.
Wow, that
So-
sounds great.
Are we ready to check these books out?
You
Let's
bet.
go.
Let's go do it. Yeah.
This has been fun, Matt. I think nature's one of my favorite things to learn about.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. You know what? As 2 people who love nature, we are living in the perfect place. McKinney has signs all over town that say McKinney is unique by nature.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, and with all the beautiful scenery in McKinney left to see, we've got a lot left to explore.
Yeah, we have a lot of ground to cover.
Well, then we better get exploring, eh, Pilgrim? And we'll meet you back here when we get done, okay?
Okay, can you send me back to the nature center?
Why, sure. Magic wand, send Kenny back to the Herd Nature Center. McKinney magic, make it happen. Well, I wonder where I should go. Ah, Irwin Park. Abracadabra.